what people don't see is a disturbed lifestyle. I've not been at home on the New Year's or Diwali since last 8 years. We actually do that wantedly,
Dropping the
so that people disperse from the dance floor, go get some drinks and get some food, and again they come back.
Today's guest is a DJ who didn't arrive here by accident. He built this beat by beat. Since 2016, he's been behind some of Bangalore's most unforgettable nights. Not only does he understand the pulse of a room, but also knows exactly how to shift its energy. So how does he do it? Let's find out. Welcome to the show, DJ Bhavesh. Hello, Bhavesh. Thank you, first of all, for accepting the invite and
Thank you for having me over at this.
agreeing to talk to us. So let's kick off by understanding a little bit about yourself, how your journey into DJing began. If you can just, take us back to your childhood, how, you were as a kid, and, what was it, whether it was love for music that brought you here, or,
Yeah.
how did this whole...
It was totally the love for music. I was always interested into singing and dancing, mostly into dancing. So whenever we had weddings at home, I was the one who used to choreograph everything and teach everyone how to dance.
No.
And then I used to take the audio and edit them and create the mashup of, there are 2-3 songs that we danced to at a wedding night, family performances and all. So I used to do the audio editing. So I downloaded that audio software in my computer. That was where it started.
How old were you when all of
This was all when I was in 6th or 7th.
Oh.
I also used to give dance classes to the kids around in the colony.
Yeah.
So it all started because of dancing. The love for music started from dancing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And could you give us a little more of insight into, what you used to do before you were a DJ, and how did you finally convert this love for music, love for dancing into actual profession?
Before getting into DJing, I was mainly into my dad's business.
Okay.
It's about footwear manufacturing, and after that I came to Bangalore because I started another business with my friend, which went well for 6-7 months, but we had to shut it down because of the quality issues and all. That was where I decided not to go back to my hometown.
Yeah.
And I had done a lot of clubbing meanwhile in Bangalore. I started liking it very much, and that is where DJing was something that I wanted to explore more and more. I took up the training, and then I did some unpaid internship as well. That was where I thought this is something that I should take it forward and consider my passion as my career. So that's how it started, everything. DJing started because I wanted to not go back to my hometown and choose my passion to turn it into a career. So it took through 2 or 3 years to master my skills, keep practicing, and then I started monetizing it. Until then, it was all I was putting my own money and everything to sustain and keep it.
When we are talking about, I think like any business or any craft, you need to first, invest. Maybe some people do it differently, but what I have seen. So how did your initial setup look like? I mean, how did the whole thing start? Did you like from the beginning have all the right tools and all the expensive your gadgets and sets that you really need to?
No, I just bought some basic stuff, a small console, laptop I already had, and the training that I got was more important. The training I got from the music school in Bangalore. It's in Indiranagar. So those guys are very experienced. They hire very experienced DJs, and they were the ones who taught me everything. There's a DJ called DJ Varun. He is the one who taught me everything. I just used to see him and learn from him. So I went to his venues. I started exploring a lot of music from there. Different genres I explored from there. Understanding of the genres, understanding how to, it's more important about increasing the sale more than projecting your music, that whatever you want to do, it's about the sale of the venue.
Right.
So that understanding I got from that training that I got from there. It's very important to know all these things.
Okay. So, and when this decision of yours, come to happen that you are now going to professionally, take a plunge into DJing, how did people around you react to it? What was the reaction of your family and, people close by? Because generally what we see in most of the Indian families, it is not something, everybody talks
Yes,
about. Mostly
exactly.
it is always about, let us put our child into engineering, let him
Exactly,
become a
exactly.
doctor, or this is something not the normal, profession that generally we even discuss at home.
Exactly.
So,
Uh, my father, he never knew about what a proper DJ is. He always thought about a DJ as someone who stands in the corner of the wedding and he just has to do a job for 2 hours. That's all he knew about a DJ.
yeah.
But it was my brother who convinced everyone. My elder brother.
Mm.
A lot of thanks to him for supporting me.
Wow.
He also supported me financially initially.
Mm.
So that was my brother who
Believed
took
in
stand
you,
for me,
yeah.
believed in me. That he knew me since childhood that I have a passion for music.
Yeah.
Everyone in my family knew, in fact, that I have a passion for music. So they thought, okay, let him do this, no problem.
Wonderful.
And they gave me 1 or 2 years to explore.
Yeah.
It was a good thing that happened to me.
And this was all before COVID, right? Because
This
after,
was all in 2016.
yeah, and then after that, I mean, once you probably would have just hit off, and then suddenly you face COVID, and then again, the what do you say, the grip that you take, or the progress that you have made suddenly comes to a halt, because then there is no partying happening, there is
Nothing
no
was
social
happening.
social
Absolutely.
gatherings happening. So
I
then,
had to go back to my hometown and I had to support my father's business as well over there because he was also going through some financial loss.
we were
and,
all we were
he
all
also went through a heart attack at that moment.
Oh.
So it was very important for me to go back and stand by for my family. But then he also got well. Thank God for that. And again, into 2022, I got a call from a venue in Bangalore that we need you.
Okay.
That is when I decided to come back and again approach towards my passion.
If that call would not have had come, do you think you would have had stayed in your hometown and continued with your father's?
Not for much longer.
Okay.
Not for much longer. I was already working at different things to improve my skills. So I had this in my mind that I will come back. It was just that the third wave of the COVID that finished, and as soon as the venue started, I immediately got a call. Even if the call wouldn't have come, I was coming
You would
back.
have-
I was anyway coming back.
What would you say is that, one major gig that actually changed the trajectory of your career? If that one thing would not have happened, or that one contract, or that one call would not have happened, maybe today you would be doing something different.
There is nothing like that. There's not that one major thing.
Okay.
It's all about different days that I've put my work, always given my 100% at every day. That is more important. Not that one particular gig was never there.
No. Okay.
At least in my story, it has never happened.
Okay. And apart from COVID and circumstances that were out of your control, but were there times when you thought that this is becoming too much, and were there moments where you wanted to just give up?
No,
Once you
I
decided
never
that-
wanted to give up. It was just that COVID time where things were really tough and making the decisions were really tough. Other than that, there was no particular moment that I had to, keep myself motivated or something. I was always motivated, and I always had this confidence that I'll be the best.
Wow.
I want to be the best, and I will do it. I always had this confidence, and I never put myself down. I still feel good when even two people are appreciating me after the gig.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is something I look forward to every day.
You always believe, so initially when somebody starts in the journey, you don't really have the network, you don't have the right people that and you're a newcomer, you've not proven yourself. So were there people in the industry or the network who took a chance with you?
Yes, yes, absolutely. There are many people who have helped me. Firstly, it was the one who taught me. He taught me without even taking any money. He only believed in me. It was DJ Varun. And coming to Bollywood, because I shifted to Bollywood after English music. And in Bollywood, it was mainly DJ Vipul Khurana who believed in me. He took me with him. I was his assistant for a lot of years. He showed me how to handle a grand wedding. It's very important for a DJ to handle a grand wedding because DJing at a wedding is the most hardest job as a DJ in the entire world because you have to entertain the kids and also the elders, and there are multiple age groups that you have to entertain and keep the dance floor happening, and also take requests. You can't deny a single request also.
And what happens when you're taking requests? Let's say there are some songs out of the blue, maybe you don't have them ready with you. How do you go
If
about
I don't have it ready with me, I have to have a laptop, quickly download it, send it to the pen drive. All these things, it takes practice and experience. So
So it's like that fastest finger.
you have to do it quickly and have to be very quick at it.
I think it's a very different situation than when you're actually walking into a pub, because when you're walking into a pub or a restaurant, you are going there to enjoy the music.
There is no this thing that we have to accept requests in a pub. There is no this thing that we have to accept the requests. But at a wedding, you have to accept all requests, and it's all about the preparation and homework that we do.
Exactly. From outside, I thought weddings were the most easy thing to do.
No, it's the hardest thing as a DJ. It's the hardest thing to entertain the crowd and keep it happening. Or else sometimes, they even don't pay properly. If they did not enjoy the wedding, then it's really hard to, get the next wedding.
So this word does travel through mouth.
Yeah, of course. It's the event organizer who hires the DJ nowadays.
Okay.
So the event organizer has to be impressed. Event planners, wedding planners. These are the ones who are hiring the DJs nowadays.
So when you talk about your network, when you're talking about now you being into this scene for a very long time, your network is all about, pub owners, restaurant owners, wedding organizers,
Event
planners.
Yes.
So that's what mostly your network looks like now.
Of course.
So from outside, this profession looks very glamorous. The
Yes.
nightlife, people think that
It is glamorous.
So what is the reality? I mean, somebody who spends day in, day out there, what is the reality? What is it the other person doesn't see?
What people don't see is a disturbed lifestyle. We don't get enough sleep. And when there are major festivals happening like New Year's or Diwali, we are busy entertaining other people and going for the event and doing our work. But we are not spending time with our families enough, or at the moment we are not there.
Yeah.
This is one thing, and it's a disturbed lifestyle, no proper sleep. It really requires a lot of discipline and a balance, maintaining mindset that a DJ needs to have. Having a balanced lifestyle is very important.
True. But then, is it important for the family also to be supportive? For example, now on Valentine's Day, when you are not able to spend time with your loved one and you are, busy entertaining hundreds of other people, it does take a toll on your relationships as well, right? So,
Yeah.
do you need somebody, I mean, at this level for this profession, do you need someone who's very level-minded, level-headed, mature enough to understand the requirements of this profession?
The entire family has to be understanding and supportive. So what happened with me was I spent the entire daytime with my loved one.
Okay.
And she also happened to come to my event and party with me.
So that's how you balance.
So that's how we understand each other, and it's just that we need each other on that day or any other day, basically.
So you are mostly when it is Diwali or whenever it is, major festivals, you are never home because you are
I'm never home. I've not been at home on the New Year's or Diwali since last 8 years.
That's incredible. I mean,
we are always playing somewhere on the New Year's. So I've not celebrated New Year with my family at all.
That's hard, actually.
I've always been away from home, and my hometown is in Vijayawada. So yeah. It's all about being on video call after the gig and talking to them.
So, how do you see DJing? If somebody is to know, somebody who is not aware of, what DJing is, what is it majorly about? Is it about, the music? Is it about the storytelling? Or, probably having a conversation with the crowd? How do you see
It's
this?
a mixture of everything. First, it boils down to this urge of creating something and downloading and having a good playlist.
Hmm, hmm,
It's all about that. First, any person who wants to be a DJ, he has to have that passion to gather all the good music and make a good playlist. Make different good playlists.
hmm.
That
For
is the
every
first thing.
occasion, you
दुकान
need
में
a.
पहले सामान is बहुत जरूरी.
Oh, right.
That only then
Yeah.
people come to the dukan.
Yeah.
So
So
that
you
is one thing
have
that is very
playlists for all occasions. So let's say if it is, how are these playlists segregated? I mean, you must be having like a lot of playlists.
Yeah. I make my playlist according to the situation, according to the event. So if it's a haldi event, then the songs that go in the haldi, then they are put in one playlist, and according to different tempos.
So now you must be having regular, visitors who come there to enjoy your music and who must probably be seeing you 2-3 times a week also.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure that you are not giving them the same repeat songs, because they will understand that iske baad mein ye hai, and after this the other one follows. So how do you keep shuffling and creating that newness?
It's very easy, because in a 2 hours or 3 hours of a set that we play, maximum songs that we can play is 120 or 150. Because even for 1 minute, if you play one song, 2-3 hours of a set makes it 150 songs or 180 songs. But actually, there are more than that. There are nearly 1,000 songs.
Okay, so
1,000 or 1,500 songs in Bollywood, more than that. So it's just that, you having a big playlist, bank of playlists, bank of songs in your playlist. So yeah, that actually helps to. It's about the homework that we do at home. What we do at the stage is less important. What we do at home is more important.
So would you say that it is 80% what you do
It's
behind
the
the
homework.
scenes,
Yes,
and
yes. Behind the scenes is
what you-
everything that is more important. And on the stage is just pressing buttons and turning the knobs and using your brain. Picking the right song is on the stage, which is also very important. But doing the homework, every song needs a homework. Every song needs a setting that we have to know from where the song has to start, from where the song has to end, and after this song, what are the songs that can match with this song. This is the main thing that we do at home: creating playlists and thinking about what kind of songs can go with this particular song.
It's also about the pulse of that particular moment, right? The vibe that you're
yes.
getting.
If there are more girls on the dance floor, the songs that we play has to be according to the crowd, the songs that girls will like.
So what are the top 3 songs that 100% girls will respond to? I mean, to just pick up the.
There's one called Chittiyan Kalaiyan.
Okay.
Chittiyan Kalaiyan, girls always like it.
Okay.
And there's Kya Mujhe Pyar Hai is one song that girls always like it. Kajrare is a song that girls always like.
Okay. And when it comes to the boys, what is your top 3 picks?
Boys have many songs. Boys like any song. That is true. Boys like any song.
हम सब पे dance
But
कर लेंगे.
mostly it'll be Shah Rukh Khan or Salman Khan song that boys will surely like. Any Shah Rukh Khan or Salman Khan song, people go mad.
Okay. So I'm getting a lot of insights today. So, okay, so if at all you are seeing, the pulse go down, the crowd is just not, they're refusing to come up on the dance floor. So how do you manage an empty room? I mean, how do you make sure, they are pulled to the crowd? Because that's what, the whole job of a DJ is to make them.
Yeah, it's about knowing what to say on the mic and be welcoming on the mic, and also play the right song that pumps them up. It has to be pumping. Like Kala Chashma would always work.
Oh, right.
as a song, that people would want to
Get
come and
people
dance.
up from their
Or
seats.
Badtameez Dil is a song that, people would want to come and shake their legs.
Yeah, yeah.
So these are the things that you have to have the playlist according to that situation. That when the dance floor is empty, what kind of playlist that you need? What kind of songs that you have to have in your
It's a
playlist?
lot of intuitional work as well, right?
Initially, you will fail at it, but as you keep failing, you keep improving, and then one day comes that you will never fail.
True, true.
That is the thing that you have to keep working on, and it's all about experiences and homework that we do at home.
And what does a great night look like for you? So you've done, this is it, I nailed it. What does a great night look?
Great night is when everyone is shouting and screaming all the time. Whenever there's a new song coming, people are screaming that, oh, this song, this is the song that I needed.
Yeah.
It's all about that.
And how do you impress, the bar owners, or how does that whole calculation work?
Bar owners look at the sale. Bar owners, all they want
During a
is
DJing night as well. So
yeah, yeah.
how do you,
After the night, they get to know about the sale, and if it is more than the usual nights that they are, or the other DJs that are
but do
doing.
you think music influences people's bar sale?
Of course, music and also what we say on the mic, it highly influences. There could be small things that we say on the mic, and people would want to go and drink more or have some shots. It depends on the situation and time, or a person's birthday, or anything. Wishing someone. There are so many things to do to increase the sale.
Can you talk about one trick that you generally use to, lure people to the bar and make the sales happen?
We usually play a song that is pumping, and then we tell them to raise your hands up, and it actually, pumps up the other people also and gets them to the dance floor. And when the atmosphere looks like the dance floor is fully packed,
It's electric.
people really want to get drunk and even get more drunk. So it's like that.
And then there are those instances on the dance floor where, suddenly after a very high tempo song, it drops.
We actually do that wantedly,
Dropping the.
so that people disperse from the dance floor, go get some drinks and get some food, and again they come back.
Oh.
The DJs have to,
You
in
give
the
them
club,
that break
we have to do that.
go unwind, probably go refill their glasses, and then come back.
If they keep dancing, then the sale is not happening.
Okay. Nice. This is interesting.
Drinks and
Do
food.
you drink when you're DJing?
Yeah.
Does
Not
it-
initially, but now it's
But does
all
it help?
habitual.
I mean, does it help you also
helps.
tune in more with the crowd?
It helps. It helps to pick the proper song as well. To be in that
Then
mood.
how does drinking every night, how is it being managed by your body? I mean, how are you
I
managing?
don't drink every night, but once or twice a week, it does.
Because-
I do it. Once or twice a week. Not every night.
Okay.
It's
So,
actually very bad to drink every night.
yeah, that's what I was wondering. I mean, how is the body handling it?
No, really
At
bad.
all, you're going to end up doing this every night.
It ruins everything.
Yeah.
Next day, you're not in a proper energy, not in a proper mood to even work.
Yeah, true.
Very exhausted. So once or twice a week is normal.
Now that this is like, a high energy field in the night every day, it's like, so many people, so much of energy. How and what are, those simple things you do to reset yourself? Because you need some calming down, resetting yourself, because again, you have to go repeat the same performance the next night.
Yeah.
So, do you have any ritual or anything that you do that, helps you reset?
It's the process. Waking up in the morning, having a good morning routine, or downloading new music. When you have new music, you want to do more towards the crowd. Like you want to test the crowd with this new music. So this process has to always keep repeating. If you're playing the same music for 3-4 months, then first the crowd gets bored, and then even me myself, I'll get bored. So when this process is always happening, every week I am all about this thing, to explore new music, bring it to my playlists, and then try it on the crowd. This is the process that has to happen every week.
Cycle.
Has to happen. This should not change, or this should not come down.
Mm.
This is one thing that keeps me going, that I want to have new music as soon as possible. Whatever is trending, I have to have it. Make a new remix, make a new mashup. This is the thing that I cannot even stop, even if my health is going bad.
No, and what has this taught you about yourself? Has it taught you any lessons? Has it taught you anything about yourself that you otherwise would not have had learned if you would not have had come into this field?
About myself, one thing that I learned is I didn't know that I'll be so dedicated towards one thing. About this, anything that I want to do in life, I never had a dream of becoming something until the age of 25. It's the age of 25 that when I started DJing, and before that there was no dedication or no aim to become something or someone, to have to be in some profession.
So this is, you can purely say this was your calling and you just
Yeah, this
answered
was
it.
my calling. It was the best decision I made, and after that, I've always been dedicated to improve myself, to improve my skills, have a good playlist, have a better playlist, to check out other guys what they are doing and appreciate them, and then implement that thing in mine. So this is something that I did not have before this profession. The dedication that it requires.
How important is it to, not be jealous of someone's work, but also, give them the due credit and appreciate, people from your own fraternity?
It is a good thing. When you give credit, you are actually building confidence with them, and it's one thing that they deserve it. First of all, that is the main
I
thing.
think
They
most of
deserve
us
it.
forget. It's very easy to, feel a little put down or feel jealous about when somebody is, doing
You can grow faster if you're not feeling jealous.
wonderfully said.
That's all I
I
can
think that's
say.
the truth.
Huh.
I think you can't. I mean,
Or else you'll keep dwelling, or even though you work on yourself, but
have there been moments where initially when you were just a beginner and there were people who were doing better than you, did that ever affect you?
no. I was always learning from them. I always went ahead and appreciated them, that this was the best thing that you did. This is one thing that I will learn from you. I always go to them and just say it on their face that you are the best in this field, or doing this part. You're the best, and no one else can do it better than you.
I love that, because not many of us have. I mean, we appreciate somebody, in our minds. Oh, that looks good, or that's coming out so well. But then we don't really go out of the way up to that person and appreciate them.
Appreciating
We
is
never
a lot
let
of.
them know that this is what I'm thinking. So
It's a plus thing.
it takes, yeah. I think it shows a lot about who you are if you can do that.
Huh.
Yeah.
But it's beneficial.
It is
It
very
is beneficial.
important,
You
yes.
become friends with them.
They'll help you out. They'll probably
Somehow they might start supporting you, or referring you at other venues. So it's a good thing. There's nothing wrong in going and appreciating. It's always positive and plus point.
Totally. Absolutely agree. 100%. Okay. So now I have a different kind of a question for you. So we have this AI coming into picture. We have AI making movies on your behalf. I mean, you just give prompts right from creating a picture to a movie to, I think recording an interview also on prompts would be very easy.
AI is my photographer now these days. I have a photographer in AI. I just have to give a prompt, and it makes a
It's everything.
superb clarity photo.
Yeah. So how do you see this field changing in the near future because of AI? Do you think it is going to have any impact on?
It has already made an impact, but it cannot do the live thing that we are doing. On the stage, what we are doing, reading the crowd and understanding the pulse of the crowd. And because AI doesn't know that Govinda's songs were so famous at when they released,
True.
or Shah Rukh Khan's song was such famous, and it is in everyone's brain.
Yeah.
That too, looking at the crowd, and if there are girls or guys, looking at the age,
True.
that AI cannot do. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think AI can do that. But AI has
It can't
already
be
made a bigger impact on creating the remix of a song.
Have
It
you
is-
used it to your benefit?
Yes. We use the AI to make a better remix of a song, and it's very easier. It has become easier to make remixes.
So is this all self exploration, or how do you stay abreast with what is happening, how what technology is shaping what in your field? I mean, how do you
I
stay
keep
up to
looking
date?
for better opportunities and better things that are coming up on YouTube, or there are too many people projecting their ads on Instagram. So I keep checking out. It's the passion that I have for it that I keep changing myself or want to improve myself. That it'll go on for another 10, 15 years until I am DJing.
True.
Or else I'll become stagnant and then
Yeah.
people will not like it at all.
I think every DJ has their own niche right now, because for you, because you're doing this background work, is why you're able to deliver efficiently when you're live in front of people.
It is the homework which is more important.
Yeah.
But life skills also are something that it takes a lot of practice to be very sharp on the stage. It's a combination of everything, from what you want to do, from what you're doing, and what you will be doing. It's a combination of everything.
So also I see now a lot of women DJs are entering this field. So what is your take on it? I mean, are you seeing like a increase in women trying to explore this field, and actually also thriving, not just trying to
Yeah.
take content. I think one of the last pubs I had gone to had a lovely woman DJ, making everybody come onto the stage and
Yeah. What I feel personally is that DJing is about music, and music can be liked by a man or woman,
understood by anybody.
understood by anybody, man or woman. But women have this thing that society sees them that they can't or they should not be doing this.
Late
Going
nights,
against everything
yeah.
and making this as a career, they need to have a lot of guts.
Courage.
A lot of courage and a lot of guts, which is a very good thing. And all the women DJs who are shining at it, they are doing a great job. There are many ones, my friends, that are making this decision and changing their lives. I've seen them.
Yeah, true.
It's a very good thing to going against everything and proving everyone wrong.
Yeah. Go girls.
It's a good thing.
Keep shining. Okay, so now coming to the part where for our viewers or anybody who's aspiring to be a DJ, what would be your advice? Where do you think that they should start?
It all starts from wanting to create a playlist, create many playlists, and downloading the music. The biggest thing is downloading music, which has to happen every day. If you're not ready to do that, then the first step is not happening.
Yeah.
The first step is having saman in your dukan that people will come and buy.
Yeah.
The saman is music.
And how do they get trained? Because I think there are people who are not necessarily from Bangalore or major cities where you have schools dedicatedly teaching this craft. But then if at all I'm sitting somewhere in a smaller city where I don't have access to a school which I can go to and learn, how do they start?
They have to come to a bigger town and bigger place.
You need to have,
They have to make that decision.
I mean, you need to be present and learn it.
Yeah. DJing is not something
You
that
can't
can
learn
be
it
taught
virtual.
on a video call or on a small offline course. It's not like that. Sorry, online
Online
course.
course, yeah.
It has to be offline. It has to be someone who is standing beside you and mentoring. As soon as you're doing something wrong, he has to stop it, show it to you. You have to see and learn live. It can't happen on a video call. DJing, mostly it's about live experience that you get from a trained person.
Do you like teaching? I mean, in future, do you have any?
I've already taught 3 or 4 DJs. My best friend, I've taught him, and he's a DJ in Goa in Purple Martini.
Okay.
And there are 2 more people who are learning from me. So 3 people I've already made DJs, and 2 people are
So
still.
you do mentoring.
Yeah. I always like giving it back to the industry.
Totally.
It's good thing.
Yeah. Um, and if you are talking to, people who want to make it to this field, what is it that one thing they need to stop chasing? One thing that you should tell them to stop. This is not what you chase.
When they want to get into it, it's mostly because of the FOMO that they see from other people. That they have to stop chasing that. They want to create that FOMO first. And first thing is mastering your skills. As soon as you master your skills, you'll start getting everything. Money will come, fame will come, everything will come. But you have to master it, and you have to spend 4 or 5 hours a day for 6 to 7 months to learn everything and master your skills. That is the first thing you do, and then you can chase anything and you will get it. That's what I think. You have to be good at your job. After that, you can chase anything, and nothing is stopping.
And you've seen so many DJs come and go. I think even when you started your journey, there would be, a bunch of friends, people who were in the same field who opted out of it now.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between people who stay and, those who have not made it or have given up?
The difference I would say would be they have to be a proper extrovert who socializes well, and only then you get better gigs or keep growing in this field. Even though you have skills, this one thing is there, that you have to be an extrovert and socialize and be a people's person. Not please everyone every time, but
It's all about
show it that you are a magnet. You have to be a magnet, and people have to like you, and people have to have this in their brain that whenever I want a party, I'm going to this person. When you create that, it's all good. When you're not able to create that, then you have to look for other options to earn money.
Yeah. So in that span of 2 hours or 3 hours when you're DJing, how many times do you have to literally? Is there a dedicated interval in which you have to, pick up the mic and call on to the crowd, or you just take the pulse of the crowd and then go with the flow?
Miking is important, even to pull the crowd, even to maintain the crowd.
Do
Or
they
even a
teach you?
particular, there's a song called Mujhse Shaadi Karogi. So what I do in that song is I pick up the mic and say, Shaadi kabhi mat karna yaar. That pumps up the crowd, and people laugh at it. Even the people who are married, they also laugh at it.
Yeah, everybody agrees to it.
That is something I do, that I have for different songs. When there's a Salman Khan song coming, like O Jaane Jana, the big tune, tang, tang, tang. So when that tune is going on, I say, Salman Khan fans, make some noise. Everyone makes that noise. And as soon as they make the noise, I say, Big Boss, dekhna band karo yaar. Then everyone laughs. So these are the things I do to, entertain the crowd.
So this you've learned on your own. I mean, this was
That
never
I created
taught.
on my own.
Yeah, this is not taught in the DJ school,
No,
right?
this they never
Miking and how.
Miking, they teach the basic miking, that they teach you to come and introduce yourself, that this is me, I'm going to play. They don't even teach you properly. It depends on the person to learn from other DJs. There's all these things I've learned from other DJs, looking at them, going home, practicing.
Who do you admire when it comes to just not playing of the songs, but the person who's got really good skills in talking to the crowd, the miking skills?
DJ Opposite is a person. His name is Siddharth Mehrotra. I've learned a lot of things from him. How to handle a 3-hour set, how to build the energy slowly, and miking, the timing of the miking, all these things I've learned from him.
Does this include a lot of traveling for you?
Traveling is good. Traveling is always good.
But I mean, you have gigs all across the country, or so which does it need you to travel more often? Does this profession?
We want to travel. Every DJ wants to travel. Every DJ's dream is to travel and play at different cities, different countries. So this is something that we always look forward to.
Okay.
Traveling is all sponsored by other people, whoever is hiring us. So that is no stress at all.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So another question I've been thinking about, let's say I'm a very talented person, okay? I have my own set of songs. Like you mentioned, I've created my own playlist. I think I'm decent at my own skill, but I have no networks. How do I break that barrier?
You have to become an extrovert. Go out there, talk to people, meet someone who is important, someone who has the power to give you a gig. Go and be friends with them. Go and show that you can handle a crowd, or create a reel, become viral. Reels is a very important thing. The algorithms are changed on Instagram. If you create a reel and the reel goes viral, even mildly viral, then people get the FOMO. People who are in the industry, the owners, the promoters, they will look at it and they will call you, they will
Suddenly
give you a chance. So that
you are
thing,
discovered.
you
I mean,
have to create something in music and prove it that you can do it. Show some confidence, show some talent, and show some creativity. That is a very main
social
thing.
media presence has become
Social
a big
media
thing
presence
now
is
for
everything these days. Everything. People who don't even have skills, if their reel is going viral, they are still doing good.
we've seen that. Okay, so now we've spoken about your journey. We've spoken about the choices you made. How how much time it took for you to from the beginning to now to prove yourself and be here. If your journey or if your life had a soundtrack, what would that soundtrack be?
So, my favorite song is from the movie Laksh, the title song. कि लक्ष्य को हर हाल में पाना है. I've always liked this song. It was my favorite movie. And even now, I listen to that song whenever I want to do something that I myself don't have the
You
confidence
want to motivate yourself.
from motivating myself. So, this is one song I always listen to, like at least once a week, to refresh myself up and charge myself up.
No,
If it goes,
let's say you are not in the if you're not in your zone, your restaurant, your pub, but randomly you are enjoying probably some quiet time with your family or something, and then suddenly you see somebody who's a great fan of yours who followed you to all your pubs and kept a close check on you, and somebody like that requests hey, can you. So is your phone always ready with a playlist and things? Do you?
my phone is not ready with the playlists. My playlists are all on my laptop and my pen drives. But if they want me to play a song, I always have YouTube for it or Spotify for it. I have a Spotify playlist. So it depends on their request. And what I actually do is, if they're very interested about me playing a song, I make a remix of that song and I play it in the club. So that I call them that I've done this for you, please come.
Okay.
This is one thing that I like to do.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I think one day I'll also give you a request. Maybe.
Yeah, sure. I'll surely make a good remix of that or play the original and bring it at the right time that you would like it.
Yeah.
That no one else is doing it.
True.
That is one
You
thing
said
that
it
I
on
always
camera. I'm gonna hold you up for it now.
Sure. I'm all about it to, impress my friends
Yeah, true.
each and every time.
What does success look like for you when it comes to, what would you, call a successful night? Not for the crowd, not for the sponsors, but for yourself. For you, what is a successful, event or a night look like?
Successful event is when people are screaming all the time.
Yeah.
And after the event, people are coming to you and appreciating, not stopping to appreciate. That is a very successful night. And then they come back after 2 days, after 3 days. When you're again playing, they come back to you.
With new set of friends.
Yeah, with new set of friends, and they keep asking when is your next gig. This is very successful thing. And I personally don't take success seriously. I wanna grow. I wanna grow even more. And I tell them that next time is going to be better. Whenever they come and appreciate, I tell them next time is going to be even more better. So that's in their mind that okay, next time is going to be even more better. I'll come for sure.
Yeah.
This is one thing that I like to do. It's just natural from my side.
Yeah. So, if there was any, one advice that you would give to your younger self, what would that be? Now that you've seen this journey, what is that advice you would have had given to your younger self back then? कि ये करना है यार, ये मत करना था. What?
I started off late. That is one thing, because I didn't have the confidence to come out from my family's business and do something of my own. But I started off late. That I would say that I should have done it when I was even more younger. I did have the passion, but I started late. I was lazy, or I was not motivated to do something on my own. I didn't have any goals. That is one thing that I want to change.
I think a lot of us,
I got this mindset very late in life.
I think, delay, your, dreams and ambitions.
Yeah, I
for
was just born in a silver
having-
spoon family and wanted to do other things, or just live casually without any goals or this thing. It's not a bad thing, but still, I would want to change that.
But then you would not have had the name that you've carved for yourself now.
I would want to be
And
serious.
Feels like this belongs to you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like somebody's giving.
People are taking me seriously now more than then.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I think it's person's journey that decides how somebody views them as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so covering that, any advice that you have that probably we've not spoken about that you want to give to the audience listening, or people who want to be in this field?
One advice is that when I started, what I noticed was my 3 months course was over, and after that, even my 1 month internship was done, but I still did not learn how to handle a 2-3 hours gig. And I was still in shock that I spent money, I spent 4 months, I spent a lot of time in practice, but still I've not gotten it. That is where many people quit and leave it. So whoever is starting, my advice would be to not give up, and just take it as you're learning to drive a car. Once you learn to drive the car, there's no more learning. It's like that. Like, the basics, if you get it, then you've arrived. Just don't give up until you think that you've arrived. That not giving up is the advice that I want to give. Because there'll be many moments or many situations where you feel that it's not happening. I'm not able to mix this
See
track with
results,
that track. Or from there, I am not able to create a 1 hour or 2 hours of experience. Just don't give up. Slowly, it will come to you. It will happen. Just need to be passionate and dedicated.
And what about those moments of failure? Maybe you just do. Maybe there's a blooper in front of the crowds, and something that just goes out of control. How do you manage that, and how does that not stop you from quitting? Let's say just made a fool out of yourself in front of so many people.
Yeah, it has happened many times. You just need to forget it and have the confidence that from next time you're not going to do it or repeat it.
So it's forgiving yourself.
You will not sleep that night. For me personally, I did not sleep that night whenever I made even a small mistake. But failures teach you everything. After 4 or 5 failures, it will not repeat.
Yeah.
You will never repeat them.
So forgiving yourself
It has
is a
to be.
big
It has
part
to
of the
happen.
journey.
Every DJ has to go through it. There is no DJ who has not made mistakes. Every DJ has made mistakes, and once they keep learning from them and they overcome it, and we do become perfect.
Do you think the crowd is forgiving? I mean, they see probably mistakes happen, but
Crowd is okay with it. You just have to immediately switch or immediately pump them up.
and make them forget.
That is the homework that you have to do. That homework you have to do, and even a small mistakes happen. So the next 2-3 minutes you have to keep pumping it up. That is one thing that they also teach in the course.
Right.
Or anyone who is teaching you how to be a DJ, he will let you know that this is very important.
So being kind to yourself is one of the biggest.
If you get anxious and feel pressurized, your next 5 minutes will also go wrong.
Correct.
Just have to forget it and be normal. Okay, it happens. Nothing. There are many times that the venue's power goes off, or venue sound goes wrong, goes bad. But still, no problem. Just there are some nights that will not be perfect. No problem. There will be another night where everything will be good, and it just happens. No
Part
problem.
and parcel of the
Yeah, yeah.
profession, what you do.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now we come to the concluding question for our episode. So, years later, when people look back at your work, what do you want them to remember you for?
I would like to be remembered for this one thing, that in these 3 hours he will do the best job other than any other DJ. This is one thing that I want to be remembered for, because when my dad asked me what do you want to do as a DJ, I said I want to be the best. So that is one thing I'm still aiming for, and I just want people to think that I am the best. He is the guy who I can trust with my time, and I'm going to him. That is what I want them to have in their brain. The guy who will choose the next best song, his choice is good. That's what I want to other people to have in their brain.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving time.
Thank you so much for having me over.
And we have learned quite a lot of insightful tips, tricks,
Yeah.
and how a journey looks like. I hope there was a takeaway for all of you. And we will see you soon with another wonderful guest at Crossroads with Vrushali.